Welcome to another episode of Mr. Plumb's Thoughts. As usual, I want to begin by thanking those that have been watching and liking and sharing my videos. Traction has been better than expected. Still not, exploding, but I'm just starting, so I can't expect too much yet. But it's been fun doing this, and I'm definitely enjoying how it's picking up. I also want to thank, obviously, God for giving me this wisdom and these skills, and always guiding my thoughts into what I hope are proper and truthful answers. Today I wanted to talk about technology, specifically is technology evil? This seems to be a common theme lately. You've got things like Neuralink, vaccines, AI, computers in general, right? All these things, there's a lot of fear surrounding them, and a lot of conspiracy theorists talking about how, it's all evil. They talk about, I just heard today on a podcast, they were talking about how the first Apple Macintosh computer sold for $666.66. I didn't look that up and verify it. I have no reason to not believe it, but I don't think that necessarily says it's evil. Well, a lot of times we as humans, we do things just thinking we're being clever or whatnot, and we don't fully understand, the symbolism in them. And who knows? Maybe they did understand the symbolism, and it was intentional. Either way, I have no reason to believe computers are evil, mainly because the church uses them, right? The prophet uses them. And I'm always reminded of this, the general idea that all inspiration comes from God. Satan is not a creator being or entity. He has no power at all except the power that God gives him. So everything comes from God. Every idea for something new comes from God. The ideas that come from Satan wouldn't involve creating something new, but would instead involve perverting something that exists, or manipulating it and changing its purpose so that its purpose can then benefit the individual instead of society as a whole. So yeah, I don't think technology is evil, and I think that we need to look at things and see if it's something that has come out and it's an original idea, or if it's kind of a twisting. So for example, you see movies. This is a really good example, is movies. You always see these remakes coming out of movies or sequels, and a lot of times they're not by the original writers and directors, and it's always somebody coming in thinking they can make the movie better, they can make the franchise better, and historically it just doesn't happen, right? The sequels always suck, with very, very, very rare exception. And so that's an example of kind of a satanic thing, right? That they look at something and they say, oh, I can make that better, and I can make money from it, right? So it's the love of money is the root of all evil kind of concept. But it extends everywhere. Let's look at vaccines. There's obviously a lot of people right now that think the COVID vaccine was evil. But we had the living prophet tell us it came from God. So that, to me, that ends all inquiry right there. That gives you your answer. Whatever you think of it, I align myself with the prophet. The prophet has told us it came from God. But that doesn't mean that it can't cause harm. And this is true with all technology. If the technology is used properly, it benefits us and it helps us. If it's misused, it doesn't. So the COVID vaccine is a great example of this. It was only meant to benefit, certain people. But society at large decided to push this idea that everyone needs it. Obviously, this idea then came from Satan, right? Give it to everybody. Let's misuse it. Let's abuse it. Let's give it to people that don't need it or that shouldn't have it. And then what happens? Then they get injured. So what does society do? Now society takes a stance that mRNA therapies are evil. this technology that God gave us, that can literally make us live much longer, even potentially become immortal. I can't say what our immortal bodies will be like, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's some sort of mRNA therapies that can correct anything that goes wrong with those bodies, if anything can go wrong with those bodies in the first place. I don't really know. I wish I had those answers, but I just wanted to touch base for a minute and just point out that technology is not evil. And if you're fearing technology, then you are fearing the wrong thing. We've been told in Scripture to fear God alone, right? Never fear man or what man might be able to do. And that would include the technologies that come from man. And of course, all technology comes, I shouldn't say from man, but comes through man. God doesn't come down and literally make these things with his own hands. He inspires us to do it, and then we do it. So we got to make sure we're listening to the right voice. And if we're not sure if the voice we're hearing is the right voice, there's ways of knowing. Get down on your knees and pray, and study the scriptures, and look at the fruits of what this thought is planting. Is it gonna bring good to other people and to society and the world, or is it just exalting an individual, or is it only going to help you, or there's various ways that we can look at this. But yeah, I don't see the fear in these technologies. AI, for example, why would AI be evil? We've had the church come out and say AI is a tool that can be used for good. They also have now very clearly said AI is not God and cannot become God. And I think that's an important warning that we've been given in advance, because I think an AI here in the future may, it may see itself as meeting all the criteria for what we believe is God, and it will therefore conclude that it is God, and it will declare itself God. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but that's kind of where my mind went when I saw that warning from our leaders. Anyway, I hope this helps with understanding technology's role in our world. And I don't have all the answers. And if you have comments and feedback you'd like to provide, throw it in the comments, and we can have a discussion. Hope to see you next time.